Welcome back, Patriots, to the Ball Brad Show. It is Tuesday, May 28th, and Joe Biden. Good old Joey. The geriatric, the puppet, the child sniffer. The guy that hits a golf ball backwards, that really did happen, falls up a flight of stairs, looks for dead people in the crowd, converses with dead people. He just doesn't hear them. He sees them, folks. Falls off his bicycle standing stationary, takes photos he's doing photo ops with people at events that were never there in the first place. I still can't figure that out. Yes, you heard that correctly. He's taking pictures, according to him, with people that weren't even in the same state at the time he's saying he took photos with them. They were never even at the event, folks. This dude fights with his teleprompter every single day and has lost 4 years going on now. This is the most insane statistic in all of politics. Joe Biden's teleprompter has never lost. It is wild. He is still, by far, not even close, the worst president in American history. Patriots, it's great being back with you on this Tuesday morning. And before we jump into any of the craziness that is going on around the world, the major headlines, support a conservative or patriot by not only hitting that like and subscribe button, leave us a comment down below, but most importantly, watching the video all the way through without pausing or skipping forward. This will help us greatly because YouTube is going to capture those analytics and force our videos out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel, and it will enable us to grow. Your help and support would be greatly appreciated. Again, hit that like and subscribe button, leave us a comment down below, but more importantly, watch this video all the way through. With that being said, folks, Ilhan Omar, Cori Bush mix up Memorial Day with Veterans Day in since deleted Twitter posts. So Monday morning, these two psychos from the squad post similar messages to X for the federal holiday dedicating to honoring and mourning military personnel who died in service to their country, specifically for our great country, United States of America. And we have the pictures. So Representative Ilhan Omar, who, like I said, is a psycho, anti-Semitic, should not be in Congress, said on Memorial Day, we honor the heroic men and women who served our country. Nothing wrong there so far. We owe them more than our gratitude. All great and dandy until we get to the highlighted portion. They have more than earned access to quality mental health services, job opportunities, housing assistance, and the benefits they were promised. How did they get those benefits, Ilhan, if they are 6 feet into the ground for giving up their life for this country? Now, I'm not diminishing what our veterans did. I think our veterans that are alive should get all access to these great things that she's proposing. But the ones that gave up their life, meaning they're not here anymore, can't get access to it. And what's even more mind-blowing is these people tell us what our tax rate should be. These people are the ones that have the keys to the purse that are spending our hard-earned money here, folks. They're not with us. They haven't been with us for quite some time, and somehow Democrats keep electing these same idiots into office. You have this gentleman here, David Hookstead, said Ilhan Omar thinks Memorial Day is about celebrating people who are alive. Beyond Parody, Outkicks David Hookstead wrote, before following up with the post had been deleted, but screenshots are forever. Ilhan Omar and Cori Bush had confused Memorial Day for Veterans Day. Where's AOC's political commentary, Ian Miles? Jug wondered. Absolutely correct. This Memorial Day and every day, we honor our veterans in St. Louis. That's from Cori Bush down there at the bottom. Truly remarkable. Cori Bush just deleted this. Memorial Day is for honoring those who have died while serving in the U.S. military. Veterans Day, which is in November, is for honoring everyone who has served in the U.S. military and is largely intended to thank living veterans. Ryan Saavedra usually is a writer for Daily Wire. He writes articles for them, has his head on straight. But I'm telling you, these men and women that are part of the Democrat Party, that are in Congress, are not with us. I know I'm repeating myself, but they can't even get our major holidays down right, folks. The Memorial Day, we honor those who served and lost their lives for our country, and we hold in our hearts the loved ones they've left behind. We must continue to push to protect our service members while working to build a world free of war and violence. So again, Bush posted a revised message that read the following, which we just gave. Omar's official congressional account did not put up a replacement tweet, but her personal account posted on Memorial Day, let's say thank you to the brave men and women who selfishly sacrificed their lives in service to our country. Thank you to the families who also have sacrificed and have dedicated their time to ensuring their loved ones are remembered. So it's astonishing that this had to probably go through multiple layers to actually get approved, right? Because they have staff members that usually have access to their accounts. There's some PR person that's there as well. And it just shows how many layers it goes through before something generally gets posted and just falls through the cracks. So these people are idiots. Like I said, they're the ones that are dictating everything from the regulations to the red tape that you have to go past to move your business forward, or something that will ultimately hinder your business, to electing people into office, or judges, or having the keys to the purse, whatever it may be. It just shows how far off the rocker these people are. Well, she said, oh, nothing about wars. We want to make this world free, blah, 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 blah. Well, Putin offers ceasefire deal. This was major news that nobody was talking about. As far as I'm aware, nobody was talking about this. This is insane. I stumbled across this. So Russian President Vladimir Putin, has anybody heard this, by the way? Let me know in the live chat or comment section. Were you guys aware that Putin offers a ceasefire deal? Because I feel like this is something the mainstream media covered up, or I was living under a rock for the past few days. Russian President Vladimir Putin has put forth terms for a negotiated ceasefire in its ongoing war with Ukraine, a significant step forward for peace that gives Western leaders and NATO countries an off-ramp to avoid a potential escalation of the crisis. It would save us billions of dollars, lives would be saved. So let's actually go further in depth on this article. Now, according to multiple unnamed sources who spoke with Reuters, Putin has expressed frustration with attempts by NATO allied officials to tank negotiations to bring an end to the conflict. And this is what I also heard from other reporting as well, is that the United States have caused negotiations to fall through. Putin can fight for as long as it takes, but Putin is also ready for a ceasefire to freeze the war, said a senior Russian source. News of the ceasefire offer comes during a week when Russian troops crush Ukrainian military sites with 49 strikes. This whole idea that the Ukrainians are going to lose this, folks, it's ridiculous. We're sending them billions of dollars, and kind of, if we were to put a very holistic view of this, the goal here was to send them billions of dollars, military-grade equipment, whatever they need, to sit there and make some sort of advancement so that when negotiations and peace talks happen, that they have something to capitalize and maybe use as a negotiation to give up that land that was ultimately gained, so that basically they offset one another. At least that's what I've been told. That's what I've heard. Is it true? I don't know. I'm just presenting you what I've read and heard. So news of the ceasefire comes again during the weeks that basically the Russians just wiped over the Ukrainians. Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement, over just 7 days, combined strikes by precision weapons and unmanned aerial vehicles hitting enemy military aerodrome infrastructure, missile ammunition, and fuel depots, workshops for the production of naval drones and unmanned aerial vehicles. Russian officials say that the attacks resulted in the death of a bunch of Ukrainian soldiers. Putin's spokesperson told Reuters that Russia does not want eternal war and wants dialogue to bring an end to the Ukrainian war. We'll see what comes of this. Thousands of people are dying. A lot of us would see the conclusion, or want to see the conclusion of this. I'll make sure I keep you guys posted on what the hell's going on, but it seems like the United States has ended negotiation talks, or at least prohibited negotiation talks from really taking place between Ukraine and Vladimir Putin, the Russians. We also have here illegal immigration news. Even the illegal immigrants are shocked by our border, not just any border, but the open border. So Bill Mulligan, who's been on top of this for Fox News, was at the border, and an illegal immigrant from Turkey can't believe how lax we are and thinks it's dangerous. Illegal immigrants are saying it's dangerous. Here we go.
Did you have to pay a cartel?
Yes,
How much?
around 10,000.
10,000?
Yes. In fact, the American people is right, completely true. Who come into this country, they don't know. Well, okay, I'm good, but how if they're not good? How they're killer, psychopath, else? No guarantee of that. Why, no security, no security check, no background check.
No security check, no background check. You're worrying about who's crossing the border?
Yes. They are, of course, me, because I'm like, people are not look normal.
You know what's astonishing here? For some reason, Democrats can't get it through their head. I really don't understand it. I really don't. You talk to them, they go, no, like all of them are great. Like every single one, nobody coming across our border wants to harm us. There's terrorists that don't care whether you're Democrat, Independent, Republican, Green Party, part of the LGBTQ community. They don't like us. They don't like what we stand for. And for some reason, they just can't grapple with it. And I don't understand, to the point illegal immigrants get it. The very people are coming here illegally are like, yeah, there's a lot of bad people coming through. I've actually seen them. terrible people that want to cut your head off and use your head as a soup bowl. Yeah, no, they're not good people. We should really think twice about allowing this to happen. I've seen it firsthand. It's unbelievable. Fentanyl pouring across the border, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. You have MS-13 violent gang members pouring across, creating chaos, havoc all across the country. You got sex trafficking taking place, drug trafficking taking place, human trafficking taking place, child trafficking taking place. These freaking sex operations that are taking place all around the country. Joe Biden has created 15 million new jobs, you guys. It just wasn't for Americans. It was for other countries. It was for the cartel. It was for these drug lords. Joe Biden is a businessman. He's probably more of a businessman than actual Donald Trump is, believe it or not, except he just does it illegally for, again, the sex trafficking, the child trafficking, all that crazy stuff. So we got to give it up for Joey because he is a job creator. He has created a booming economy. It's just not for the American economy. It's a booming economy for, again, sex trades, the slave trades, whatever the hell is going on, because a lot of these people are being sold to other men and women across the world that we know of. So the human trafficking is a massive issue, folks, and one that I think a lot of the politicians, mostly on the Democrat side, is covering up. And hell, maybe for all I know, even the Republican side. Well, we got some wild news here, something I'm kind of late on, but Chelsea Handler, this part I'm not late on, attacks Harrison Butker's faith in social media rant. Now, I didn't cover Harrison's actual commencement address that he gave at I believe it was a Catholic university, and she lost her ish over this, along with these other lefties and these progressives, mostly part of the Democrat Party, for what he said. Now, what's wild here is he's giving a commencement to a bunch of religious people, and nothing what he said was actually wrong, but all these people, go after him. So the childless comedian who has never been married specifically took to issue with Butker's saying at the commencement address, "I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker." They lost their shit, you guys, over that statement. There is nothing wrong with that statement. This is like the epitome of what life is about. Yes, to seek after God and Christ and to dwell with them, have a relationship with your creator, and then create yourself and have a relationship with the creation. So it goes from top down, bottom up. You, as the creation, should have a relationship with the creator in the same way you that's creating creation, as the creator, should have a relationship with the very creation that you made, with the person that you made it with, meaning marriage and God, your spouse, whatever it may be. It's so logical and simple, but they sit there and lose their ish over it. So here she is, again, from End Wokeness. I absolutely love that Twitter handle. Chelsea Handler, a psycho as well, is 49 years old, childless, unmarried. Harrison Butker is 28, happily married, 2 kids, just won a Super Bowl, and she's going to lose her ish. Folks, it's the same thing as somebody that's in debt, that doesn't have their life in order and is complete chaos, giving you a bunch of advice and lecturing you on how to get out of debt, have a ton of money, and be successful. Here we go.
As you may have heard, there's a man by the name of Harrison Butker who's talking more than I typically like for a male. He's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I learned that kickers rarely get tackled. So based on his misogynistic rant during a recent commencement address, I'm guessing this Bible thumper thumped himself a little too hard with his Bible and gave himself CTE.
Some of you may go.
So it's now a bad thing to be a Bible thumper? Again, I'm pretty sure he's at a Catholic university. So they're all Bible thumpers. They went to a Catholic university for a reason. There's nothing wrong with reading your Bible, but again, you notice it's always the outgrowth of the Democrat Party and a certain segment of the Democrat Party that hounds Republicans and conservatives for following a faith. The reason why I say that is not all conservative Republicans are of the Christian or Catholic faith. They might follow some other faith out there, but it's weird to me how they're always hounding us about religion. Religion is terrible, even though religion is part of one of the main pillars of this country. But here's a little bit of his speech, and it goes back and forth between Chelsea Handler and Butker here.
Go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
First of all, Harrison, you're a kicker, so you have one important part of your body, and it's not your fucking brain.
I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. Isabel's dream of having a career might not have come true, but if you asked her today if she has any regrets on her decision, she would laugh out loud without hesitation and say, heck no.
Isabel, please blink twice if you need us to call for help. But the real kicker is that Harrison Butker's mother is a renowned physicist who has a degree in chemistry and a master's in medical physics. So, who paid for all those youth athletic team fees and uniform fees and equipment fees when Harrison was a kid so he could grow up to have a career making millions of dollars for fucking kicking things? My guess is a working woman. Harrison, this is the first time I've heard about you, and hopefully the last. And after this, I'm going to go ahead and do what your fellow teammate does and just pretend like you don't exist.
I don't talk to Harrison all year long, man. I just let him do his thing. We sit right beside each other in team meeting, and I don't say one word to him.
Really wild stuff coming from Chelsea Handler. And again, as somebody that's almost 50, doesn't have any child or children, and is unmarried, is going to lecture us about a guy that clearly has a happy marriage. He's 28. His mother seemed to do really well. 2 kids, just won a Super Bowl, has everything going for him, gives an amazing commencement speech to a bunch of young men and women that need to hear these types of things. Because what you see from Hollywood and people like Chelsea Handler is a bunch of nonsense, spewing a bunch of garbage about how the world should be. When now we go back to our Bible thumper, whether it's verses or ideology, that's the foundation and the bedrock of how we should live our life. And she's going to sit there and, basically just crap all over it because we're terrible people because we follow the word of God. We're terrible people because we want to better ourselves. We're terrible people because, if possible, we would want one of the parents at home raising the kids. And I say one of them because it doesn't have to be the wife. It could be the husband or vice. It doesn't matter. As long as somebody's raising the kids. But, Hollywood will promulgate having a single family household. And we all know the outgrowths of having a single parent. It ain't a good thing for the child. But again, that's something that Hollywood wants to promulgate. That's something that Chelsea Handler clearly wants to promulgate. Because if you look at her life, she is not somebody that you would want to sit there and basically embody in terms of a morality or a representation of what things should be. Well, speaking of, you don't want to embody what things look like or what things should be. I'm going to hit you guys with this. Ana Navarro of The View, can't believe it, claims that some Latinos support Trump to appear more American. It's truly astonishing. And you know who the guy in the middle is. You're terrible, Jim. It's Jim Acosta. Jim, sit down, Jim. Shut up, Jim. Jim, you're terrible. Jim is terrible. And it's the fact that he has a show is even more mind-blowing. But listen to Ana Navarro here, where Trump stokes fears about migrants and immigrants during his appeal to Black and Hispanic voters. What you're going to see here, and I just want to preface this, there's no difference to these Democrats and these liberals, these woke snowflakes, between legal and illegal. Here we go.
The third thing, Jim, and this is the truth, and you and I know this, as Latinos, there are some Latino immigrants who forget they came here as immigrants and who want to shut the door behind them, and who think being anti-immigrant somehow is going to make them pass as more American, pass as whatever. And that's a very stupid attitude to have.
Folks,
The third thing,
you saw it, right? Where is it at? They came here as immigrants. Yes, legal immigrants, you psycho. I'm saying psycho because that is all it is. There's only one way to look at this, and maybe two. Either they're that dumb and they think that there's not a difference between legal and illegal immigration, or they're just that disingenuous and evil to where they're pushing a narrative, and that narrative is there is no difference, and that Trump is just talking about all immigrants. It's ridiculous. Mind you, my family's part of immigrants. My father literally immigrated here legally. So it's astonishing to me here that I could sit back and look at the difference and go, yeah, there's illegal and legal. I love legal immigration. Legal. I don't like illegal immigration because I don't like illegal things to happen. But for some reason, the Democrat Party conflates the two constantly, and I think it is the evil side of it. I think they know what they're doing. They're trying to confuse Americans. They're sitting there lying to people and pandering to a specific subset that clearly only watches CNN, but CNN is the most trustworthy news out there. They're unbiased, supposedly, you guys. But, they're going to push this stuff. But it's dumb. It's dumb to sit there and act like you're an American. It's dumb to be patriotic. You notice that there's a common theme here from the Democrat Party. You don't see that from Republicans, right? If I saw a Democrat waving the American flag, I would think, wow, that's pretty great that they're patriotic. Wow, a Democrat that actually loves this country. And second, wow, a Democrat's actually waving the American flag rather than stomping on it. That's really great to see. Perfect. I could sit there and have a conversation probably with that person. But most of them don't want to have the American flag. We just showed a video just the other day where they got all upset, this dude on the beach, because somebody was waving the American flag on the beach. We all watched that together. And again, I'm not talking about all Democrats. I can only be so clear here to my audience that I say Democrats, but there's a certain portion, a small subset of the Democrat Party and a large portion of the outgrowth of the Democrat Party, the progressive left, that don't like this country. They don't like it, you guys. And what you have here is Ana Navarro and others pushing stuff. And you have somebody here who says, can't tell me these two headlines aren't connected. So you have here, Hunter Biden defense team questions who actually filled out the key gun form. And then you have Biden visits daughter-in-law's home ahead of her expected testimony in Hunter Biden trial. Okay, this is on the same post that you just saw here from Tenet Media that had Ana Navarro spewing a bunch of garbage. And the reason why this gentleman is posting this is because you have Hunter Biden's trial that's taking place for the gun, right? His handling of it, how he got it, all those things. Well, what's fascinating is Joe Biden visited the daughter-in-law's home ahead of the expected testimony, and it was something that wasn't scheduled. It was like an unexpected visit, something that he kind of did under the dark of the night, in the same way that they're flying illegal immigrants under the dark of the night into the interior of the country. And so a lot of people are wondering, what did he say to this individual? Because I think she was basically with Hunter Biden when all this went down regarding this key gun form and him throwing away a gun into like a trash can or some stupid thing like that. Don't quote me on that. There's a lot of hearsay going on between what actually took place and what actually took place. But a lot of people are wondering, what was said? Was there a deal made? Why was he over there in the first place? Is he just supporting his family? If so, doesn't he have like grandchildren that he doesn't even acknowledge or something like that? And this is a guy that can't even remember when his own son passed away, which is a terrible thing in the first place. I'm not joking about that. Like I don't think it's funny. It's terrible that he is a father of a son that passed away and he actually doesn't remember when his son passed away. But don't worry, Joe Biden's sharp. Joe Biden has everything together. Joe Biden is with us, folks. A lot of people think when I say that I'm like making that up, but that's a Democrat talking point. They'll say, well, this is a normal decline for somebody Joe Biden's age. It's normal to see this type of thing. He's slower. He's not as sharp, but he's still with us and I'll vote for him again. What a crazy thing to sit there and look at everything that Joe Biden spewed over the last 4 years, not only from what he spewed, what he barely got out coherently, fought with his teleprompter, falls up a flight of stairs multiple times. We always say hits a golf ball backwards. He's looking for dead people in the crowd. Like, these are not normal things. But they're going to go after Donald Trump about 2 weeks ago or whatever, sitting there and having a moment of silence virtually from not reading from his teleprompter for 35 seconds and capitalizing on the atmosphere of the crowd and just doing, quote unquote, a moment of silence with music buildup. And they'll say, well, he's disconnected from society. He doesn't know what's going on. Donald Trump isn't with us anymore. He can't actually tell and coherently make sense of the situation and the atmosphere of what's going on. The amount of manipulation and just the full-fledged, like, just, I guess I would just say just lying to the American people about what's actually taking place in reality, like gaslighting all of us is maybe even a better word for it, is really astonishing. I mean, you're going to sit there and say Donald Trump is having cognitive issues, that Donald Trump is having mental issues, and you're going to equate that somewhat to what we see from Joe Biden. Isn't that insane? I watched a whole video on this, and I should do a short, like 10-minute video on it of just playing what I heard, because I think it's a great way to show that, one, I'm not just bullshitting you guys, but also to really see how the left and the Democrat Party thinks nowadays, even though that person claims to not be a Democrat. So that's what's going on with Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the Biden family. We'll keep you up to date. There's always stuff going on with that family. Well, lastly, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun news, sort of. Elon Musk, XAI, reaches $24 billion in value following major round of fundraising. They basically doubled the amount of funding that they thought they would get or expected to get. And basically what Elon Musk is doing here is trying to compete against OpenAI. And my question for all of you is, what are you scared most about in terms of AI? And then what are you most excited about in terms of AI? And if you're not being caught up with what is going on with OpenAI, artificial intelligence, the possibility of AGI, and we have an older audience here, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're all patriots here. I really recommend you guys either read up or watch a ton of videos on what's going on with artificial intelligence, because we all kind of grew up, right, watching the same movies from the 80s to the 90s, the early 2000s. We all grew up with Terminator. They have Terminator, you guys. That is a full-fledged walking robot that can communicate with you, has limbs, can pick up oranges, walk around, can fold clothes, has a head. Like, if you've seen Will Smith's iRobot, take the Terminator, mix with iRobot, and put it into one thing in the span of 21 months. And this thing can talk to you, it can communicate, you can ask it for something healthy, and there's a bag of chips and an orange, it'll pick it up with its fingers. Like, this is insane stuff that we're seeing in just less than 2 years. Can you imagine what we're going to see in 10 years? I mean, they are talking in 10 years, almost for sure, with certainty, having robots just walking around just all over the place. So it's going to be really fascinating stuff. And I bring up Terminator for a reason. So Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, xAI, announced this week that it raised $6 billion in its latest round of fundraising as the new company looks to gain ground on OpenAI. And I like this because you're seeing one of the, I don't want to say the first times, but an advancement in technology that we're able to live through together that has this amount of competition really driving each other to create the best, most optimal product, whether good or bad, for the American public. And I'm not saying there hasn't been other products out there or services that have done this, but such a leap in advancement is truly a remarkable thing. I mean, the internet was remarkable and everything like that, but you also really, I mean, you look into like electricity, right? That would be one. Medicine, vaccines, like those types of innovations, in my opinion, is really on par with OpenAI. And I would say the last time we really saw something this innovative and probably wild would maybe be the internet. You guys let me know. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm open to, figuring out maybe there's something better than the internet that happened before OpenAI here, artificial intelligence. But I'm curious to always listen to you patriots. We're all in this together. So the company, which was created in July 2023, announced its blog post, our Series B funding round of $6 billion with participation from these key investors. In less than a year, the company already rolled out its own AI chatbot. I guess it's called Grok. Is that how you say that? To compete with OpenAI's ChatGPT. Grok, which is only available on Musk's social media platform X, has already seen the release of 2 more sophisticated models. So basically, when you see this in the span of just roughly a year, maybe a little bit less, and you have an exponential function of the fact that they're coming out with so many updates and models that if this exponential function actually continues to increase, then we really are going to see walking, talking robots. The Wall Street Journal reported that the latest infusion of cash into the company is now worth $24 billion, you guys, making it the second most valuable AI company in the world behind OpenAI itself. And if you're not familiar, there was a headbutt between OpenAI and Elon Musk, because Elon Musk was originally, I guess, a part of the original idea of OpenAI. And Sam, I can't remember his name, Sam, the guy that's basically the CEO of OpenAI, were friends, and now they're not because they had a falling out regarding artificial intelligence. Musk was kind of worried about if it gets to AGI, what are the downsides to it? How could this harm society? All those things. And forgive me, Sam, his name is slipping my mind, but a lot of stuff going on with Elon Musk, OpenAI. There was a lawsuit. I think Musk is suing OpenAI, all that stuff. But I just find it really fascinating. I don't talk a lot about it on the show, but I am really invested, not money-wise, but invested just learning about artificial intelligence, seeing where it's going, because there's a lot of things in our lives and just in human existence that we haven't been able to figure out. And what we could do is utilize AI to take the entirety of the internet, learn from it, and figure out maybe, Einstein's God equation that would basically connect, I guess in a nutshell, be string theory, the quantum realm and the theory of relativity, and combine them together and make sense of it, or sit there and come up with some sort of technology that would make life easier for all of us in terms of electricity being free. Kind of looking at Nikola Tesla's lost technology, if that's what you want to look at. It comes more from Graham Hancock. So I know I'm spewing a bunch of stuff. You're like, Brad, what the hell are you talking about? You sound crazy, man. These are a lot of things we don't talk about on the show, but I'm into like those lost civilizations like Graham Hancock. I'm into artificial intelligence like you're seeing here with OpenAI. I'm into kind of string theory and learning from it. One of the books I'm actually reading right now and I'll show all of you if you're interested in it. It's kind of a hefty book here. It's called The Bell Curve by Richard and Charles Murray. I'm making my way through it. It's pretty dense. You got to know a lot about statistics, and it's easier for me just because I teach statistics. But if I didn't, I'd probably really struggle with it. But fascinating book on kind of not artificial intelligence, IQ scores, and how that kind of creates an outgrowth and a correlation between a lot of different facets of our life. So pretty fascinating stuff. But anyways, I'm nerding out with all of you. Had a blast hanging out with you. Again, if you could, watch this video all the way through. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below. If you guys leave the video while it's playing midway through, it actually hurts our analytics. And so that's why at the beginning, I'm going to start kind of plugging that. If you could watch all the way through, whether you're into the content or not, and you just want to support us, just watch it all the way through, hit that like button, and that will create higher analytics for us. And YouTube will start sending that out actually to more people because they want to see engagement from the viewer. And one of those engagements is, yes, hitting that like button and commenting, but also they want to see that, wow, they're really engaged. They're watching all the way through. We want more people to experience this. And so we'll send it out to more people, and then we can grow that way. If you also want to give your hard-earned money, which, there's Bidenomics going on, but 99 cents, folks, not a day, 99 cents a month. You can be part of the Ball Brad Army. We would love your help and support. That also helps us pay for advertising, pushes our videos out there, again, the new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. So definitely be plugging. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this fine Tuesday morning, folks. I look forward to hanging out with all of you on Wednesday morning, and we'll be back here tomorrow on the Ball Brad Show.